the Vegas market is made up of bachelor parties, Joe Blows, 9-to-5 guys, parlay cards. That's why they offer all these things. There's like, you walk in, there's a parlay card, super
I'm
parlay
literally
card.
every one of those things. It's like everything to a T.
Yeah.
Even the sharp?
Not that. Oh, and he always does the same intro for every show. It's the corniest fucking thing you've ever heard in your life. You're about to hear it.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Poker Central podcast. And I'm telling the producer John right now, keep that intro in there. This is episode 159 of the Poker Central podcast, and we have been invited to the lovely home of Anthony Alberto.
I don't know if we were invited. I think I just
we just showed up.
told him, hey, man, we got to come over because we don't have a place to film.
I
And
did say no 3 times and you showed up.
yeah. So we definitely were not invited.
And we can invoice for fuel because this is like an hour drive.
It's on my way home. I live the next exit down.
Yeah, that's actually quite cool. But yeah, thanks for having us, by the way.
Absolutely.
Lovely home.
Thank
Really
you.
love it. We got the grand tour. This place is wonderful. Brent and I think are in agreement. This is sort of like our dream house. Got the pool in the back there. Nice little outdoor patio.
This place is incredible.
pretty nice.
He took me on a little tour when I came in here. Upstairs, he has can you call it the man room or just the sports room? What do you call it?
Sports room?
The sports
Yeah.
room? Yeah.
She
Big time
knows-
sports guy.
She can't bother me when I'm in the room.
And his fiance, Alyssa, is up there. I mean, she hates us right now more than anybody. But anyway, oh my God, there's 6 flat screens on the walls. I mean, it's just, goddamn.
Absolutely.
The dream, Alberto.
Yeah, it's a nice time.
God.
For the people unfamiliar with Anthony, they could have seen him on the Super High Roller Cash Game, Poker After Dark, World Series of Poker. You gave it a few shots, but you walked away from a stack. Not really a tournament player. What's the story there?
So Alan Kessler drafted my 25K team, whatever you can call it. And he asked me if I play mixed games. I play like a mixed game like during the week at the Aria. And I said, yeah, I play. He decides to draft me, thinking I play mixed tournaments. I don't. And
Well, you tried.
I tried, and a kid was looking at me for like 3 or 4 minutes with like an 8 perfect. I might have had a jack, who knows, and finally calls. I said, I just can't take it anymore. I just left.
So you just left your chips on the table.
I had 17,000 chips at 500 1,000. I just went home.
Wow.
What a legend.
So that goes to show that you're much more of a cash game guy.
Yeah, cash game's fun. I do it like for camaraderie. We laugh, we joke, we have a good time. We talk about restaurants, food, sports, and these poker kids, like tournament kids, don't want to say a word to you. I ask, hey, where are you from? They don't even look at you. They don't even tell you. So that's it.
It's definitely different. It's a different vibe.
It's different. Yeah, it's a
Some are
different
better than
world.
others, I
For
think.
sure. No,
right?
I mean, if you
yeah.
play super high rollers, it's much more chatty.
Of course, yeah.
If you play
Yeah.
like a 1,500 event at the World Series,
Oh my lord,
It's very
miserable.
different.
Yeah, it's miserable.
Yeah.
The super high rollers are fun. I play like the 10K PLOs, 25K.
You
PLOs.
won one. You
I
won a
did.
25K or a 10K,
10K,
PLO event at the Aria?
I beat my buddy John Deppa.
Oh my, you beat Deppa?
It's funny because neither one of us were playing for the money. We both looked at each other and said, we have to play it out. Neither one of us ever won a live tournament.
Oh my God.
and,
So you notched
and
him.
we played it out.
Yeah.
And he's really good. He's a really good PLO player. So I got lucky. I won 2-3 all-ins in a row. And then we got it all in. I called super light, knowing long-term he's probably going to beat me. So I just took a shot. I gambled. And I won.
Buried the biscuits.
It is what it is.
I love it. So the reason we're here is also to learn more about your story. And whenever I see a new face on a Super High Roller Cash Game or Poker After Dark, I'm always like, wow, I would love to know how this guy ended up here. And from talking to you a little bit and hearing some stuff from Brent, your story is really interesting because you sort of have a different trajectory from like the poker pros who all of a sudden
You're
just
fine,
jump
Alyssa.
in there. You're fine to
Alyssa's
walk
here,
around.
yeah.
Tell us the short of the story of how you ended up settling here in Vegas and building this life for yourself.
I moved to Vegas in May of 2015. I came out just to play the World Series of Poker. I had no money, 15,000, 16,000. Played a few like tournaments when I thought
More than we've ever had.
like played a few tournaments that like I thought I knew how to play tournaments at the time. Didn't go well. I actually didn't make it into a week. I started playing roulette, and that didn't work out well.
Well, you tried to be a professional roulette player?
Well, I came out for the World Series of Poker, but I played the World Series of Roulette instead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Good schedule, great events.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't win.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Right, I didn't win. And I was in the car business back east. when I was living in Philadelphia, and I got a job out here, and I just started working in the car business.
You sold cars?
Yeah.
Wow.
For years. I mean, I was a young degenerate. I just torched any money I had, I just lit on fire. I was working at a car dealership, playing like 2-5 PLO with the Aria. I would win, torch it betting sports, in the pits, whatever it was. And one day I just decided to do the right thing with the money, I guess.
Like the light switch went off. You're like, if I'm doing this sports thing, I got to be serious about it. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I was a loser for years and years in sports. And then a friend of mine's really smart, like algorithms. We grouped together, and one thing led to another. I turned it into like a pretty big business.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the poker for you now, you sort of feel it as like a recreational thing, or do you still have ambitions in poker?
Well, I don't know about ambitions. I'll play like any big game with like fun atmosphere. Like I'm not gonna like go on the Bravo app and see if there's like a 50-100 no limit game at the Aria, because I'm sure it's 5 people who don't speak.
Yeah.
And they're chasing one fish. It's not like my thing. I play like the games on PokerGO because they're fun. It's meant for camaraderie. It's meant to talk. It's meant for enjoyment. Mm-hmm. And I play in a lot of like the private games in LA because they're a lot of fun. Play with some celebrities, some athletes.
What celebrities and athletes have you played with?
I mean, I don't know.
Can you drop any names or?
Let's not drop names.
I love dropping names. Yeah.
Every time we have a guest on who has played in private games, Brent always asks, and we are yet to get one name.
Did you notice how quickly I jumped on that too? I mean, it was just immediately. Who is it? Yeah. I will. Can I drop a name right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to drop a name. So, Paul Pierce is playing on PokerGO next week on Poker After Dark, and of course, Phil Hellmuth's game. Anthony, who I talk with all the time, he's like, hey. I want to play in a game. Get me in a game. Like, dude, always get you in a game. Love getting him in a game. He's a great character. I think he's super interesting story. One of these characters that the poker world is kind of watching develop as we're watching develop. And anyway, Hellmuth. I've got him on the list. And Phil's like, Brent, I've got a lot of friends. I don't need to have any more friends. So that was sort of his short answer response about, friends and getting him in games, and he's got this lengthy list of people that he's trying to get in this, this game, which he, by the way, titled Phil and Friends Week, which it is not called that at all, but that's what he called it.
Yeah. He has 8 friends?
Oh, I think he's got like 800,000 friends.
Well, listen, he's got a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You have a lot of money, you get a lot of friends.
You get a lot of friends. Yeah, he's got a lot of friends. So anyway, long story short about Hellmuth Week, Anthony is on the list to get into Hellmuth's game next week.
Hellmuth is also the poorest of his entire friend group. He hangs out with Peter Gruber and like the owners of half the fucking NBA.
Well, it's good to be friends with rich people.
Yeah.
I'm friends with rich people. When I go broke, I have a lot of rich friends.
Does anyone do it better than Phil Hellmuth?
I mean, like honestly, I think this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
If you're a smart guy, surround yourself with smarter people. If you're doing well, surround yourself with people that are doing even better.
Why am I here then?
Yeah, exactly.
Great question. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
That's how we finagled our way. By the way, you need to get those locks checked. It didn't work.
Phil's very respectful always, though. That's why people like him, even though they have like that, his outbursts on television. He's always very respectful. Anytime I've ever met him, always respectful. Barely knows me. Always says hello. How are you? Like super respectful anytime I see him. That's why he's got so many people who like him.
What I'm curious about is, when you basically start getting into bigger games, what's it like to be the new guy? Like how do you sort of, get comfortable in these surroundings? Like, do you have to know a guy who knows a guy who introduces you? Is that
usually it's like somebody gets you into the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not hard to get into games. I mean, I'm known to give major action. If like a lot of fish like to flip, or like celebrity triathletes, they want to flip every like dealer change. I'll flip for whatever they want to flip for, and they like that. So it's like a selling point for me to play. Mm-hmm. And I don't sit at a table with glasses on and a hoodie. I sit there and I talk.
Yeah.
We talk about anything they want to talk about. I mean, I got a decent personality. I can fit a lot of conversations.
You won't give any names, but let me ask you this.
How many Oscars?
Let me ask you this. In these flips, these things you're talking about, these sorts of private games with celebrities, what's the largest figure you've seen won and or lost in these games?
In just a flip or total?
Anything. Yeah. Largest flip you've seen, and then also just someone got buried or someone booked a huge winner?
Well, I mean,
Tickle me.
I was flipping for like $100,000.
$100,000 a flip.
Wow. I mean, it's neutral EV. It's a flip.
It's a flip. I mean,
How many times did you flip?
We did like 10 to end the game. There was
10?
3 of us. Yeah.
So if you lost all 10, that's $1 million.
I would call you to borrow the money. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing.
Wow.
This is a realm that we sort of...
The private games are just... It's not believable. There's no reason to talk about it because it's not believable.
For sure.
Unless like you're in the building.
Right.
It's just...
That's so crazy to me because I know they're happening.
Yeah.
I've heard about them, also not going to ever say any names, but they're happening so much more frequently than the public seems to understand. And I find myself, building these games for PokerGo, and at times it's like, fuck, man, this is pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
Getting these guys in here because I know they're fucking playing in these private games. But that's the thing, they don't always want to play on TV. They enjoy their privacy.
They're called private
There's
games
a
for a
reason that they're private games.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
A lot of guys don't want to sit in a casino and have to live by rules and have 2 or 3 guys sit at the table who aren't pleasant. If you're invited to a private game, everybody knows who you are, and everybody's having fun. It's not like this guy's here to have fun, this guy's here to pay his mortgage, this guy's here to pay his bills, this guy's using his rent money. And when people are playing with those type of situations, they're not here to have fun.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell stories. They're not going to joke with you. They're there to take every dollar they can to pay their bills. And if they don't, they're not going to leave with a smile.
Yeah.
How about this? Poker pros, you obviously at times you're talking about the story during the World Series. These guys taking forever. You're pissed off. You leave the table. What pros have you played with in maybe these private games or on PokerGo that you genuinely have a great time with?
Sam Salvo's obviously a great time.
Several. Sammy
Wow.
Biscuits. Honest to God, people give him a hard time, but I love hearing that because I love Sam.
Sam's off the grid like I am. He's off the wall. He just says or does whatever he wants.
I fucking love Sam.
So I love Sam.
Underrated, in my opinion.
I love Ben. I mean, Ben's
Ben
great.
Lamb?
Yeah, he's great to play with. Jake's great to play with.
Schindler.
Yeah,
Schindler. I can't get him in a game. It's so hard.
He's like, he's dry funny. Like, people don't realize how funny he actually is. I mean, he's fun. Like, that whole group is all enjoyable to play with. From Randall Emmett's a blast. People hate him or they love him. There's no in between.
Oh, my God. He might be the most polarizing character we have. Just the fact that you said his name right now, you probably just cost us like 1,500 viewers.
Probably, yeah.
It is amazing how he just rubs people the wrong way instantly. But the thing is, what I've found out, you don't stop watching. It's like a train wreck. You can't look away. That disaster, you can't look away.
You're watching and you're thinking, am I really watching this? Is he really grabbing the fucking fish from the stands back there?
For like the 16th time in a 5-hour stream. Yeah, he's doing it.
He's unbelievable.
Doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
He gives action, though, man.
He does.
any guys who give action and laugh and joke at a table is good by me. I mean, that's the games I enjoy playing. I'm not just going to show up at the RE, like I said, and play a big game where I don't know anybody.
For sure. Yeah. When we go back to sports betting, which I think is something that almost every poker player loves, either talking about sports or betting sports, anything associated with sports.
Sure.
I can only imagine, because I know you're a sports guy, that all the conversations at the table with you are like, hey, who do you like? What's happening tonight? Who are you on? Like, what's it like for you to basically be known as a sports guy, so every conversation about betting and sports goes through you?
Well, this summer they would ask me who I like to bet the opposite.
Oh, really?
Because we just didn't win this summer. I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, it's fun to talk about. I mean, I like sports my whole life. And like I said, I was a stone degenerate when I was younger. I lost money. I owed money. I took jobs to pay it back. Mm-hmm. That's why in this business now, I have a very good reputation. In the poker world, I have a good reputation because I'm very honorable. If I lose, I'm going to pay, and vice versa. But like when you do something like for a living, everybody loves sports. I mean, especially like the poker world, it's part of gambling. It's just a great time. We have a blast. A lot of times I'll give the games out who I have. People will bet at the table. We'll all root. The game will be on TV, so it's fun. I mean, it's a nice time. That's for me what I enjoy about poker the most.
You're a Philly guy.
Yeah.
So. Do you allow yourself to have any Philly associations in your bets? Do you bet against your own teams? Like, are you ruthless like that?
Well, believe it or not, the only team I don't like to bet against is the Phillies. I'm like a huge Phillies fan. Baseball.
How old are you?
31.
31. So do you remember like Darren Dalton?
Darren Dalton, yeah.
John Kruk?
93
Obviously
Phillies,
Dykstra?
yeah.
Okay, that was my team
Phillies.
when I was a kid, Remco.
You're a Red Sox guy.
I am a Red Sox guy, but when I was really young,
You're a
when I
Red
was
Sox
10
guy.
years old, I played on the Phillies Little League team and then the Braves. But the Phillies, that was my team. Oh, my God.
Were you a
Darren
Red
Dahl, I met Darren Dahl.
Were you a Red Sox guy in the mid-'80s?
No.
Mid to late 80s?
Mid-'80s. I'm not that old.
How old are you?
30. I'll be 37 in a couple
okay,
days.
yeah,
Tomorrow, actually.
So you didn't know the Red Sox in like the mid to late 80s?
No, I picked up the Red Sox when I was probably 14, 15,
Oh,
middle
yeah.
school. Yeah. They stunk. But it was
They
like
were bad for years, yeah.
my dad was a Yankees guy, so I decided I had to be a Red Sox guy because I was, big grunge guy, anti this, anti that. Yeah.
So
anyway.
like the Phillies is the only team you don't like betting on. But if you're like,
I've done it a few times this year, but I sometimes I actually just fade it and don't even bet. Like if the sharp comes in with the Phillies, I sometimes skip it. Against the Phillies, I just sometimes skip it.
wow,
Like
How much money do you think you've cost yourself? By,
probably a lot. They
Yeah.
they win every time I
that's
try-
amazing.
yeah.
I love that. That's so funny. And because then you're watching knowing
Yeah.
that you could have had action.
And this time of year, it's really hard to bet on because they're right in the race.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
a couple games out of the playoffs.
Baseball's fun this summer. There's like some races happening for the wild card game.
yeah.
It's
Red
been-
Sox are not looking good.
No.
Like 8 games out.
I try to support the Blue Jays. They got some exciting
Well,
prospects.
you're a sharp
coming up.
baseball guy, right?
I mean, I'm not sure about anything, but I do love watching sports. Oh, this is also what I wanted to ask you. For someone who bets sports continuously, how can you still watch it? Like, aren't you driving yourself absolutely crazy?
Well, my fiance says the same thing.
Okay, good.
She says the game's going to end the way it ends no matter what, whether you watch it or not.
Put that on a fucking plaque.
I can't physically not check the scores every 15 minutes.
Wow.
I just have to be in the mix.
How much does
I
it
like
hurt
to
right
sweat.
now that we're talking and you're like your phone's burning in your pocket?
I know. I'm just doing
You
my
want me to
best.
pull up here? I can pull
No,
up.
no, because I'll get in a bad mood.
This
Oh,
is
yeah, don't do it.
ESPN.
Don't
No,
do
let
it.
me. You want baseball? Here, I'll pull up the scoreboard for you.
Oh boy, this is
There you go.
bad. This
Yeah.
is bad. We're gonna have a
There you go.
mood,
So
a
here's
mood
your
change.
scores. What game are you really interested in up here? You look at the ticker.
All right, we're doing good.
Oh, good.
We're doing good.
The mood-
We
the
like
mood's-
this. So the mood's good.
Oh, the Phillies are winning too. 6-0.
And the Phillies. See, you're
Wow.
right. I knew this
Thanks,
was a good
Brent.
idea.
You
I
really-
knew this was a good
you
idea.
changed
I'll
your
leave
mind.
the ticker up here. It's live. It's live. Yeah,
What have been some of the great games you remember having action on? Whether you were there in person watching with the big bet on it, or whether it was like just big Super Bowl bets or whatever. What are some stories that you have from betting games that might for the audience be fun to hear?
Oh boy. At the stadium, like in.
Or no, just in any.
You gotta prep them with questions like this. You can't just give them the one.
Everyone has that story. Everyone has
Christ.
that story about that one time you bet the game and you were there, or you were watching it with friends.
Well,
or,
this is before I had any money and literally nothing. I might have had a couple $100 on the Phillies 2007 it was, when they just started becoming good. Like the Phillies stunk for
Is that the Ryan Braun era? Or no, not Ryan Braun. Howard.
Ryan Howard.
Ryan
yeah.
Howard, yeah.
So when I was younger, I was like 14, 15 years old. I always loved baseball. I would go down there and get autographs before the games. So I was there like every day. And Jimmy Rollins gave me a few bats, wristbands, gloves, signed baseballs. He hits, was it Jimmy? Yeah. He hits a triple we go to Washington, me and like 10 friends. We get 2 cars, we go to Washington, right down the stretch. They're like a game up to win their first division, I think it was. 06 or 07. Maybe 06 when Howard won the MVP. I think it was 06. And it's like in this 15th or 16th inning, Jimmy Rollins hits a ball off the wall. And he slides in the third safely, and we're all on third base, and he points to us. And we're all on TV. We were young kids.
Oh, wow.
We're like 18 years old. So, I mean, that was a pretty cool
That's awesome.
sporting event. I was at a lot of cool sporting events. I was at when the Phillies won the World Series.
So you won the bet.
We won the bet.
You remember that one.
I had like $200 on
Remember?
it.
Well, yeah,
That's-
win's a win.
I probably owed some bookie $1,200 at the time.
Who's your favorite all-time Philly?
Probably Jimmy Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah.
Man, I would have went Dykstra. I would have thought he was going to go Dykstra. But you're probably
Dykstra was a little
too old.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
My father got me World Series tickets in '93.
Yeah.
Me and him went game. That game it rained like 4 or 5 times. Many delays. It was against the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays won like 12-11 or something like that, 14-13.
I remember I was watching that game. Yeah. Joe
Yeah.
Carter hit the home run down the left
That
line.
was
right?
game
Jesus
6.
Christ.
That was
It was a
game
walk-off.
That was
Walk-off
actually,
to
I
the
think,
World
when I
Series.
quit being a Phillies fan.
Touch them all, Joe.
I think that was it.
You're never
That
going
was
to
the
hit
end of
another
my
home run
Phillies
like
fan.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
That was a
Speaking of Dykstra, did you see he booked some sort of fighting bet? Did you see the viral video where the guy in a bagel shop, little fella, So he got into it with a big guy, and this big guy just crushed him.
I've heard
in the bagel shop. So Lenny Dykstra agreed to fight the bagel guy. It's going to be an actual fight. Yeah.
If you are a retired athlete and you have too much money and you get really bored, that's sort of what I think.
Dykstra
has zero money.
He doesn't have money?
So supposedly...
Big crack guy.
Yes. I don't know about that.
Big time crack guy.
But supposedly, years ago, Dykstra was like super rich. Like super rich, not from baseball. Like insanely rich. He was like an answer to a trivia question at one point. Supposedly he had like as much money as Jordan.
What? That can't be real.
Really? Somebody asked me a trivia question. I don't know how true it is. He had like a ton of money. He owned like Lear jets.
Whoa.
Keith Lear is also great to play with. Lear jet. I just thought of him.
Yeah.
Lear jets, and like he owned like a dozen car washes in like California. And whatever he did, he's a big gambler, whatever, and he just completely went under. Mm-hmm. And he is like negative money now.
Oh,
but supposedly he was like worth hundreds of millions.
He had to have had a ton of money. I mean, there's no doubt of it. Jordan money, I mean, that's
I don't know
crazy.
how, that sounds insane.
God, that's nuts. I mean, maybe it's true. I could believe that.
Talking about big money.
Yeah.
Triton Poker Series just wrapped up in London.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, excuse my language, but that was fucking insane. I was just watching, we were sweating it in the office, just watching it. And, when you're watching it on the stream and you see the numbers on the payout list, it's still sort of not really real. Well, you went down there, you had some friends playing, you had some action. What was the vibe being in the room?
Well, I jumped in a tournament just to hang out. I played the 25K short deck tournament, just to like see what it was like. First off, Triton tournaments are absolutely the best tournaments I've ever seen ran. It's ran great. Everything's ran perfect. The action was completely insane. Action doesn't really scare me usually. I like big action. These guys were playing massive cash games.
You set the table for us. What exactly is it about the action that makes it so great? Who's in these games that is making it so different?
A bunch of people you don't know, right?
A bunch of guys you don't know.
Is it all the I guess we could say the Chinese, the Asian, the businessmen, that sort of crowd?
Yeah, a lot of businessmen were down there because they had the $1 million buy-in.
Yeah.
One businessman, one pro. So a lot of businessmen who don't play poker for a living were there, and business guys like to fire. They were firing away. I mean...
God. Honestly, and also we saw on Instagram by Dwan, by JRB, by Kuhn, that there was also some kind of room with a chandelier, and they were all playing massive cash games.
Huge.
Did you get a taste of what that was like?
Put it this way, and people who watch PokerGO, they see I give action. I was told I didn't give enough action to get a seat in these games.
You got shut out.
That's how much action was running on these games.
Are they even playing poker at that point, or is it going all in every game?
No, they're playing poker.
They are?
There's a ton of money on the table. They're playing poker. They got 100 big blinds behind no matter what game they're playing.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It was pretty cool to see. I was on my way to Hawaii, and I rerouted my trip because of a hurricane.
Yeah, you flew red-eye, right?
And I flew right into London just to see the final table of the $1 million thing and just to hang out.
Wow. Bryn Kenny bet on himself a lot. He was like on Twitter getting as much action from anyone. And if you go on Twitter and if you go through Bryn's tweets, you see some people like reaching out to him trying to bet.
I'm on there.
Destroyed everyone.
Was Stokes you two on there?
I was on there.
You were on there too. So you bet against him.
He shredded me. Yep.
Yeah, he cut you up.
Yep.
Yeah.
He called his shot. I mean, God bless him.
That's amazing.
What do you think about someone like Bryn Kenny for poker? That must be one of
He's great. Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not like a guy who talks shit? Whether he backs it up or not, he still talks shit. He has a good time. He spends money when he goes out. He loves good food. How do you not like a kid like that for poker?
It's insane. Do you think this Triton environment is sustainable from how you saw it? Do you think that these Asian businessmen love poker so much they're going to keep coming back?
I think at some point it'll be probably the biggest. Wow. And I don't think it'll ever come to the U.S. because it's ran too well out there.
Is there also a case of the Chinese or the businessmen? Will they not come to the U.S.? Is it sort of something like that as well?
Maybe they won't come to the U.S.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more rules and stuff in casinos. But the way it's ran, I'm not kidding. I went out there with maybe 1,000 pounds, and I could just use debit cards or whatever because I wasn't planning on going there. And I played a 25K tournament. I made a phone call. A guy deposited into my Triton account. I didn't even have one.
Oh my God.
Like it's all based on like credit and stuff like that, and it's ran great from all super rich people. I mean, to be honest
Sun City. You got a Sun City account now?
I might even be wrong of how it went down.
Yeah.
But this is just the way that I'm envisioning it happening. I showed up at the place. Yeah, you got 1.2 million Hong Kong dollars. What do you want to play? I walked in, I said my name, they gave me a ticket. I was in the tournament.
That's amazing.
It's
you know what that
incredible.
reminds me of? The first ever big one for one drop in 2012. There were Richard Young was playing in that, and I think Richard Young might have been the only one, or maybe there was some other ones. But anyway, I remember Richard Young very vividly because he showed up and there was this whole entourage that came with him. He had his own waiting staff, and the One Drop Foundation had like a buffet set up. But Richard Young had his own guy roll out a cart with all this high-end, like special Asian food that he came out to bring. Like that vibe.
Sure.
Like, he was sort of the first one to really bring that to the poker table. And then I've been to Aussie Millions where they used to have the 250K in the Mahogany Room, which is like the super, super private room behind like seven doors and whatnot. Paul Fua was playing in there. Richard Young was playing in there. And like the whole vibe and atmosphere, when these guys are in the building, is just like the snap of a finger and anything they want, it just happens.
Yeah. I mean, they're in the elite. I mean, they're the 1%ers of the world.
You'll end up dead if you don't give them what they want, Remco.
I mean,
specifically you.
It's kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was really cool. And a guy like me who doesn't like think like a lot of stuff in poker is cool, I was actually blown away at like how great it was ran. Everything. It was ran super nice.
Do they like sports?
Yes, they do.
Are they big time sports fans?
Yeah.
What's the biggest sports?
Yeah.
Is it NBA and soccer?
Soccer, I think, is huge out
Soccer,
there.
yeah, right. I figured.
I mean, I don't even like know these decimal points. They bet like on like, what is it?
The fractional odds, right?
How do you bet soccer? They score 2 goals on
No,
average
it's like
a game.
mostly money line bets, right?
Money line bets, yeah. They're all three-way bets too.
So the Triton events are just massive. Montenegro, they're doing it in London now, and they have it in Asia. Do you think this can ever get to 100 players in $1 million tournament?
I mean, I'm sure they will. I mean, they got 56 players and they had to cap it or whatever. How many players they have? 56, 58?
Yeah.
If they were allowed to be entries in it, they would probably got 100 this time.
And that's the first run at it too, where they had this sort of system, which I do want Anthony's take on that, where a businessman invites a pro.
That's
so
cool.
The field is completely balanced.
That's super cool.
You like that?
I love that. I mean, if I had $1 million, I would play in it. I mean,
you do have you have millions of dollars.
well, if I had $1 million to fire,
yeah.
I would definitely play in it. I mean, as a I would be considered a recreational player because I'm nowhere near the level of pros there are, of skill level they have. It'd be really cool knowing you're gonna have a couple recs and a couple pros at every table. Mm-hmm. It makes it enjoyable. I'm sure the businessmen had fun.
If they drop that price point down to say
200,000,
and there was the same sort of system where you invite the pro, would you play?
100%, yeah.
Do you think they will replicate this system at a lower stakes?
I think it's so prestigious at the $1 million mark that I don't know if they can.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually was £1 million, so it was like
1.3,
3 or 4 million American money.
Wow.
So that's a big buy-in. I mean, if they did, maybe they would do it, but I think it's just a prestige factor that it's 1 million of something.
I think it's an example, though. I think that's a precedent that this sort of system, especially across the super high roller scene, why not cap it at 100 and let 50 businessmen or recreational players pick a pro? Yeah. You would fill up a prize pool of 250K or 300,000 in a second.
But
you'd have a huge tournament.
How many businessmen would not go because it's too small for them? I mean, as crazy as it sounds, it might be too small for some of these guys.
You don't think there's more people in that sort of pool, though, where like that price point might be a little bit more appealing than the 1 million?
Maybe, yeah.
I think so.
Well, the one interesting takeaway from this field was that almost all the pros were from the Western world. Almost all the businessmen were from the Eastern side of the world. That, to me, is the funny part. Like, the businessmen from the U.S. were, like, few and far between. Like, Bill Perkins, Bobby Baldwin, Kerry Katz, and then Talas Shakurchi, he's from the U.K.
Al, that guy, Big Al.
Rick Solomon.
But then, like, that's only like a few. Most of them were all from Asia. So, obviously, most of the money is in Asia. So, obviously, whatever they want to play, that's what we play, right?
That's why it works in Triton. They wanted to play a bigger buy-in. They didn't like have to call 7 committees or like have to pass it through the directors or whatever. The VIPs want to play a bigger buy-in. Hey, by the way, guys, tomorrow the buy-in's bigger. And there's nothing you can do. And that's the way it is.
Keep in mind, too, there's the added charity wrinkle to that as well. I don't know how much money they raised.
They raised a ton of money.
It's a shit ton of money for charity. That's
great.
Like seems to be overlooked whenever we talk about the the Triton event. But
poker is also the perfect vehicle for charity. because
Sure.
you get to play a fun game and you get to give money to charity, and everyone's happy. That's why Helmuth always boasts about.
I play in all the any charity event I can get to. I play in.
You're just the type of guy who's all in for a double rebuy for an hour
Yes,
straight.
I play on the charity series of poker like all the time. I'm good friends with Matt Stout. He's the president, and I'm at most of his tournaments. You see my sports room. I got some.
I was just going to
jerseys.
say every single piece of apparel up there is from these charity
Yeah,
events.
I spend money in the charity events because you have to give back.
He's just got up in his sports room. His wall's lined with framed jerseys that he has to get hung. There's like 6 of them up
I
there.
love it. Describe to me what watching sports with you is like, because even
It's
just now,
miserable.
Even just now, we got a little taste of it. You see one guy hit a home run, and you're just already cursing at the screen.
It's miserable. So my assistant, she says it all the time. My whole life, it's actually bad. I have to work on this. If I lose, I hate everybody. If I win, I love everybody. But if I'm watching a game, a guy hits a double, I lose my mind. It just doesn't even make any sense. A friend of mine, we were in the Bahamas, and I hate watching Sunday football in the sports book. Hence why I got my own sports book now. A guy cheers for like a first down, and it just sets me off if I have the other side. Like,
I'm going to watch a Bills game with you this year.
there's no reason I should ever get mad at a guy rooting.
Yeah.
And it just sets me off. I just can't be around people.
Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible trait to have.
Will you watch a Buffalo Bills game with me this year?
No, don't do it. It'll be awful.
Yeah.
Will
When I need them, I'll call you like in the morning.
Let me know. I'll come over here, post up. I'll be on the Bills.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I need the Bills.
Yeah, exactly.
You need the Bills.
Yeah.
You tell me to come over, and we will have the greatest Sunday viewing experience of all time.
That's actually a good idea. Like you have to know a fan of every team, and
Do
then
you have like plastic tables? They're picnic tables.
No.
Could you get about 6 or 7 of those for each game? Because I plan on jumping through them. Have you ever seen the Bills Mafia? But you know what this
I
is.
saw that. It's pretty bizarre.
I'm diving
actually.
right through those motherfuckers. You see, your tables out there are not safe.
No.
I will try and go through. In fact, this table right here, I will try and launch through.
Is that like a new thing? Or
I'm a big boy.
No, I'm saying, is that new or is that like a thing for years?
No, about a decade, I would say.
I've
the
never
Bills Mafia
seen
has
that.
really sort of developed over the last, I'd say, 5 years.
Well,
in its
because
prime.
they've been getting a little better slowly.
a little better, a lot of coverage. I mean, it's
They
hard.
made the playoffs, 2 years ago?
Yeah. It was
They
first
played
time
Jacksonville,
ever.
right?
Yeah. And it was a close game. It was like 7-4. High scoring. Yeah. 2 safeties.
That was miserable, that game.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, it was a really miserable game, especially because we fucking lost. God damn it.
Whenever
and then
he-
they traded Tyrod anyway.
whenever he gets on the Buffalo sports wagon, I have to literally yank him off because he'll keep going for an hour.
So yeah, get those tables
What
ready
I-
because I'm coming over.
What I wanted to ask you about, you sent out a tweet a while ago, and I think this was in like the markup police debate. You were saying like, if anyone wants to book action, just give me a call and I'll buy your action. What's your stance on people getting called out for charging markup?
Well, I might have been wrong in this case.
Oh.
So I got friendly with Sean Deeb a little bit, like just talking poker this summer, because he was talking to me about the draft, the fantasy draft, and he said some of the guys are actually worth like 1.3 in certain tournaments. And now, like, I'm not a tournament guy, and I followed it much more this year because of the 25K draft, and you see the same names in every tournament, like every limit tournament in the final like 18. So in that case, at 1.3, they're probably stealing. Like, that's a great price. But like these no limit fields, I'd probably still stick behind that. It's these huge fields charging 1.3. I just think
What about
I
the
don't
main
think it's
event
beatable.
specifically, where some guys are charging like
I've seen
1.8,
3.0.
Yeah, I mean that's just crazy, right?
I mean, listen, I don't know as much as I thought I knew about it. And I'm glad I didn't get hurt because I gave people opportunities to bet against me.
Right.
And thank God I avoided a lot of it.
None of these mixed games guys saw your tweet.
Well, they did, but a couple people gave me
A heads
good
up?
advice. Like,
Yeah.
you're losing a lot.
Right.
And I see these people just shredding these tournaments.
Yeah.
Like Negreanu, Deeb, like they just run right through these tournaments.
Right.
And they're in the top 18 of every tournament and top, 16 or 14 or 12 cash. I mean, these guys just know how to get there. And in those fields, 1.3 probably isn't enough for some of them guys.
So the 25K fantasy is a special kind of beast. It's sort of the only real connection that poker has with fantasy sports, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I've been involved with this thing since like 2010 when Daniel first invited me to do commentary, and then over the years, Brent and I have drafted our own teams, and we've talked a lot of strategy, and obviously we fell just short of cashing. But is that for you also one of those things that if there was more of that, you would totally in because it's the funnest sweat of all time?
I had a blast, even though I got incinerated. I lost every single bet. I don't know if I was given the wrong information or I didn't understand the draft. It was my first year, plus my partner loves the min cash, and he did exactly that. I think I was like third in the league in cashes with the least amount of points.
As a sharp guy, and you are, how exactly did Alan Kessler talk you into staking him for that?
Well, I reached out to Negreanu. I said, I want to be in the draft. I said, but I don't know a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
And
so Negreanu is to blame for Alan Kessler?
He's part to blame.
Yeah.
He told me to ask this one guy, I forget his name. He's a writer. Whatever.
Remco Rinkema?
It was not him.
There's a few guys.
Phillips? No.
Dennis Phillips?
No. Whatever it is. He was a writer.
Some writer.
And he said ask him or Kessler. I reached out to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
The writer still has not gotten back to me.
Really?
What? Yeah.
That's terrible. But
you were trying to free roll this guy in a 25K fantasy and he never got back to you?
Never.
Who the fuck would not?
I mean, this is when May comes around, Brent and I are always like, what team are we going to be on this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of who wants us.
Who wants us?
Who's going to pay the premium?
Who was your team last year? Because your team name was Poker Central. Who was your guy?
We had Negreanu and Justin.
Oh,
Young.
our backer?
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel and Justin.
That's why
Young.
Daniel didn't give our name to you.
Yeah, he had us.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So he had his own team and then he had half of us.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's always such a fun sweat because I think that there should be much more fantasy action in poker. It'd be so great if we had more
it's great.
of it. Do you think that legalized sports betting, once that becomes more well accepted, has avenues in poker? Do you think betting poker as it's happening has a market?
I mean, yeah. I mean, tournaments that people can randomly enter is a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because you have to have like a lines maker in the room, so that's obviously hard. But like these super high rollers and these special events, there should be lines for everything. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Poker Shares tries to do that, right? With international clients.
He's also charged. His markups are completely insane. But a lot of these like super high rollers, it's easy to who's going to play. I mean, it's the same names, same faces.
Yeah.
It's easy to make lines. It's easy to make a markup. It's easy to make 2-win bets. So why wouldn't Vegas take advantage of it? Or even like a FanDuel site take advantage of it because they're into all that stuff.
And the prize pools are much larger than some of your major sports. I mean, comparatively to like golf, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of them are.
I saw that chart of first place in the main event, 10 million compared to every other sport. It's holy shit. Poker's bigger than all of them.
Right, and when the buy-ins are bigger, players can't collude to win their side bet. If it's a $1,500 tournament and the guy wants to bet $50,000. Obviously, there's collusion going to be involved because $50,000 might be sixth place.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But in these 25, 50, 100K buy-ins, who's going to collude to win a 10, 20K bet when first prize is $2 million?
Yeah.
They're not going to collude.
That's why a lot of the collusion you hear about in sports is in second tier tennis or
of course
or the third league in France, like soccer.
Right. They're getting paid $12 in like a burrito to play.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So in your sports world, are you wary of that stuff, or do you stick to the big leagues and it doesn't matter there?
I just stick to the big leagues, the 4 major sports, some golf, maybe a little bit of tennis. But these guys are making so much money, and there's so many people that could stop that from happening these days. Like people claim like NFL's fixed. It's $1 billion company.
Yeah.
There's no way I'll ever believe the NFL's fixed ever, no matter what scenario it is.
It's way too hard to fix too because everybody has to be in on it.
Of course it is. Every single player has to be in it on the field.
Yeah.
It's too hard to be fixed. It's spooky how some games end. I mean, on Sundays, you see at 1 o'clock, there's 9 games ending, 10 games ending, and 7 of them are within 3 points of the line. It's pretty spooky. But then again, the lines makers get paid a lot of money to make the lines.
Yeah.
If you made the lines, I'm sure there wouldn't be. And I'm not saying anything against you that you can't make lines.
No, it can't.
But I'm saying on a Sunday, what are the chances that you're going to put 7 games within the final 2 minutes within 3 points of the spread?
Yeah, and there's a reason why all these sports books make so much fucking
Of
money
course.
because these lines makers are so sharp.
Well, also
And
because
that's it.
for people, and I know, like, for people watching that aren't into sports betting, whenever a book takes a lot of money on one side, the line moves so they get money on the other side.
Of
so
course.
they fucking free roll every game.
Right.
Unless
They're
it's
10%.
unless it's like some kind of crazy situation where like you hear about, I think it was like the Mayweather McGregor fight, where like all the books got crushed because the money was all on the Mayweather, I guess. But that doesn't happen that often. Usually the money is balanced, right? Like
Of course, there's sharp guys, and they're limited to a certain amount they can bet. But the Vegas market is made up of bachelor parties, Joe Blows, 9-to-5 guys, parlay cards. That's why they offer all these things. There's like, you walk in, there's a parlay card, super
I'm
parlay
literally
card.
every one of those things. It's like everything to a T.
Yeah.
Even the sharp?
Not that.
Rent-
Everything but the sharp.
Rent money.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally like parlay cards, super parlay, half-point parlay, super
Teasers.
teaser, parlay
Yep.
teasers, half-point
Yep.
teasers. They offer all these things because the bookmaker doesn't, the Aria Sportsbook doesn't make their money off of a guy like you walking up betting $1,000 on the Eagles, this guy betting $1,000 on the Bills. Obviously, they have a 10-cent edge,
Yeah.
but they want 18-cent edge, 22-cent edges, and they have it all.
Okay, okay, give me your top 3 sports betting mistakes for all the novice bettors out there.
You know how many mistakes I made in my life growing up?
No, but like I always hear that don't do the parlays.
We're gonna need 30.
Don't do the parlays. Don't do the teasers. Are those the sucker bets?
They're horrible, yeah. I mean, the sports book's taking a percentage. I mean, I don't know the exact number, but they're taking a number.
Don't listen to a word he says.
You're a parlay,
Parlay
guy. Right?
guy.
He's a parlay guy.
I love parlay. I love teasers. I love that shit. Oh, tickle me.
There's a lot of shops that are probably open.
Tickle
You can
my
call it.
teaser.
They'll probably take
Oh yeah.
the parlay and teaser cards. I mean,
Yeah.
anything the casino offers you, just say no. If you get dealt blackjack and the dealer's seeing an ace, they ask if you want insurance. They ask if you want even money.
Yeah.
Why are they asking you if you want even money? Because you're a huge favorite for them not to have blackjack. They don't offer you anything that's good for you.
Yeah.
Nothing. They're never going to.
For sure.
Buffets are good.
Right.
Love the buffet.
You also
free
pay
buffet every time I bet that little teaser.
Exactly. You
Yep.
pay. They're giving
Yep.
you free food to
Yep.
bet a teaser.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yep.
perfect scenario.
That's how bad the teaser is.
Like the lucky ladies on the blackjack table, the odds are horrible in your favor, or
Yeah.
whatever, the plus symbol at the blackjack table. I'm not a big blackjack guy, but anything they offer you, you're getting the worst of it.
Yeah.
So just don't take it. Just don't take anything they're offering you.
The other day, the Astros were like the biggest favorite in the last 30 years against the Orioles. It was
Right.
like what, a plus or a minus 500?
5-10 at close, yeah.
510. When that happens, a situation like that comes up where the line skews so far out, and you know that baseball games, the odds are usually like within a very close range. Is that an exciting thing for you, or do you stay away?
Well, as bizarre as it sounds, last Sunday or the Sunday before, I'm very rarely on these type of games, but the system shot out like the Astros were sharp. They weren't playing the Orioles at the time. They think they were playing the Mariners. It was last Sunday. And they were minus 380. I said, how is that sharp? And I played it just because I followed the system, and it closed at 440. So I'm getting 60 cents the best of it. So is it sharp? Yeah, I guess. But you don't need to be a rocket scientist to pick a minus 380 favorite.
For sure.
But a lot of Joe Blows walk in the casino, and they'll always bet the underdog.
Yep.
Always.
Always on the dog.
He's
there.
right here.
Always.
Did the dog come in?
It did not. But it came in the other day. They were 5-10. They brought back whatever it brought back.
Ninth inning.
Yeah. They were up. They were up going into the ninth. They blew the lead, and then they scored in the bottom of the ninth to win the game.
That's what they do. That's what underdogs do.
And it's. I mean, it is what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, baseball with this new juice ball era, the lines are bigger than I've ever seen before.
How
The
bad are
totals,
the Orioles?
They're bad.
I
They're
just
real
saw
bad.
that the Yankees beat them for like the 16th straight time.
Yeah, they're awful.
Yeah.
I know we love talking baseball, but let's go into football because that's probably the most exciting or stressful 16 weeks of your year.
Super exciting.
You love it or you hate it?
I like the sweat. I love sweating games. Like I said, I still have degenerate at heart. I still love the sweat. The agony of losing, winning. I mean, it's enjoyable. Now I can just afford to pay when I lose, which is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
I haven't won a football season in about a decade.
Do you bet every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
And you just go to the Red Rock and just fire?
Well, usually, yeah, but I'm a big teaser guy, as we've already talked about.
Play like elimination
I'll
games
get some of those
and
in there.
best bet. Or
No,
what-
I really don't. I don't bet that often. I'm more of a fantasy football guy.
Okay.
But get back to Anthony here because I'm worried about you this NFL season.
Why?
I feel like you should be nervous. You're a little too excited. Do you think that are you going to make it through every game?
Every game.
Really?
I cannot wait. So supposedly she's going to let me be on Sundays. I get yelled at.
Leaving you alone?
Yes.
And you got extra soundproof walls installed on the war room?
I got everything. I mean, there's nothing, when the war room's done, there's nothing you can't have that I don't have. I have it all.
I love it.
Besides an 82-inch plasma that somebody pointed out to me the other day.
You missed out on the big one?
Yeah, but I
You
got
going to get one?
There's no room. There's a TV's over the wall.
Oh, yeah, I know. What about right here? Are you going to get an 82 one on this thing?
I would have to cut that thing out, so.
That's incredible. We don't have this in the shop, but your living room. This
beautiful.
setup. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's pretty
Anyway,
cool.
I distracted.
It's really awesome. So then take me through a regular Sunday. Like you wake up early, check the lines, get your bets in, and then watch the rest of the day? Or do you live betting? Like
We bet like during the week. So Tuesday,
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, usually the bets are in.
Oh, you're just done on Sunday?
We're usually done. I wake up, and I'm up early anyway. I'm up 6:30 every day, 7 days a week. We wake up, watch the games. Some halftime bets will come in.
Okay.
Because obviously the lines are a little skewed on halftime sometimes. So we bet halftime, and then we watch the late games. Wow. And then a lot of times I like to go out for the night game if we're having a good Sunday. If not, no one talks.
Where
to
do
me.
you go out? What do you do?
Anywhere, like any bar, restaurant.
Like a little PTs or something like
something
that?
like
Okay.
Anything like that.
See, I knew
I'm,
that.
I'm
yeah.
a Buffalo Wild Wings guy.
Yeah.
Oh, some Keno action?
Wow. You do a little gambling there?
I'll play the machines. I don't know about
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know how to
damn
play
right.
Keno. I don't,
Yeah.
Oh, he'll teach you.
teach you.
I'm sure he's
Yeah.
all the sucker bets.
yeah,
We'll go
He's
out.
a total
Yeah.
sucker.
Well, we'll
He's
play
the
out.
biggest
Oh, the
sucker.
sucker, yeah.
Oh,
imaginable.
yeah. We got ourselves a few Monday Night Football
One-
games.
one
Monday
time-
nights I like to go out too.
Yeah,
Monday
you're
nights,
damn right
yeah.
you do. Yeah, we're going to get out there.
One time we had a corporate event at a bar establishment, and we're all sitting at the bar casually playing and firing, and Brett's really quiet, and I'm looking over at his screen, and he's in for like $500 firing as hard as he can on video poker.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I split action with some other members of the office.
And we just all chipped in.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
allegedly, Yeah. I think we won.
Yeah, you guys won
We
that.
banked something.
Yeah,
pretty
big
big.
something
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
Yeah, we hit like a 2K jackpot. Or something.
It's nice to win when you're with a group.
Yeah.
It's nice. There's something to talk about.
There's this game called Ultimate X, Ultimate Crack.
That's a
this
fun
video poker game. Oh my God. Yeah, it's not right.
Brent, we have
Yeah.
some rankings to cover
We do.
on the podcast.
Yeah, let's get to those.
And you told me that you have some takes ready for the rankings. And our top 10 this week is a little different from last week. We have the same number one, Bryn Kenny. Obviously, number one all time.
Are we starting with 1 or do you want to go with 10?
We can do 10, but I guess I spoiled number 1 already.
1 is Bryn
Everyone
Kenny.
knew who number
Yeah,
one
that
was.
was-
We all, like there's no spoiling number 1.
It's a
which,
dead giveaway.
So winner of the largest payout in poker history
Yep.
continues to challenge Justin Bieber to a cage match. He even offered Bieber $1 million to fight, which is just so bizarre. I don't know what's going on. I'm lost with this whole BK thing. It's BK's world. We're just living in it. So yeah, Bryn Kenny, number 1 in the power rankings. Let me go all the way back to number 10 here. I actually have notes prepared. I can't believe it. Can't say a lick of this guy's name. Number 10,
That's
other
a
than his
person?
first name. Yeah. First name, Orpin. And I'm just going to call him Orp the Turk. Remco, can you say his last name for me?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Kisaksioglu.
No, see, that's not
How
his
did
name.
you even get to that? That's impressive in itself.
It's
You
more.
actually
It's more
came
about
up with
looking at saying it in your head like very slow.
Kisakioglu.
Kisaksioglu.
That can't be right, but it actually sounds good.
Orpin Kisakioglu coming in at number 10, the one and only Orp the Turk. Yeah, he shipped a massive 100K millions event just yesterday, in fact.
He did, yeah.
A couple days ago. Yeah.
On PokerGo.
His highest, on PokerGo. His largest career score to date, 1.1 million. He's a businessman, similar to like Kerry Katz, Aaron Zhang, Rick Solomon. I call bullshit on Orp.
He looks.
As well as Kerry, as well as Aaron Zhang. These guys are, they're businessmen, but they're fucking poker diehards. They're really good at poker. Whatever. We'll give it good on Orp. These guys are killers. And
His first 7-figure score, largest score of his career.
Yeah.
He leads Turkey all-time money list. He's definitely a player.
yeah, I said all that.
Yeah.
Right?
Go on.
Oh, number 9, Charlie Carroll. I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again right now. I don't care about Charlie Carroll's results.
I don't know who he is.
Well, you're going to look him up on Twitter because all I'm interested in is his Twitter account. He and Doug Polk are fighting every single week. Charlie threatened to sue Doug Polk for
Defamation.
defamation of character. Charlie was playing with Phil Ivey at Triton, and he looked right over at Ivey, or maybe it was the Millions event, actually, in Rosvedov. And he looked at Ivey and said, "Would you like to do a YouTube video?" Ivey said,
No.
"Maybe, I don't know. Where are you from?" He said, "I'm from England." And then immediately after that, he said, "I used to be a sociopath and steal a lot of money," or something along those lines, right?
He's just crazy.
It was just out there, bizarre. Charlie's so interesting.
So I'm going to like him.
You're going to love this guy. Colorful character. Yeah, he's great. And he puts up huge results. He won the 50K over there for $1.6 million.
At Triton.
Beating Jason Kuhn, and that was at Triton. And Charlie, don't ever get off Twitter. Just stay there. Number 8, Jessica Dawley. This is great stuff. Longtime grinder, Air Force veteran, commentator, host, big-time fan
She's
favorite.
a really nice girl.
She's great.
She's
you know
really,
Jessica?
Yeah, I know Jessica.
Have you played with her?
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. She's a tournament person, but I know her like
she's great.
Just from being around. I'm friendly with a few of her friends. She's a really nice girl.
It's awesome, man. She just got her first career score, or I shouldn't say her first career score, her largest career score, 204,000, defeating Faraz Jaka down in the Sherpo event, Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. $2,600 buy-in there. She took one of those legs home, bringing her career earnings up to $992,000. I have a random stat. She's now number 8 all-time in the great state of Indiana.
Wow.
However, my question to you folks, who is number 1 all-time from the great state of Indiana?
I know that because that's my buddy.
What? You know that? That's amazing.
My friend. It has to be John Sin.
It's John Sin.
Because he's from Indiana.
That is amazing.
Right. Yeah, it's John
Well, he's
Sin.
a friend of mine. So
I love the fact that I have friends. I don't know what state they're from.
Yeah.
I talk to John like daily.
Indiana.
There you go. There you go. So sharp. He's sharp. We already knew that big time sports guy.
Too
Alberto,
sharp.
a little too sharp.
Too sharp.
Yeah. Number 7. You probably played with him over there, or at least experienced the Wyken Young experience when you went over to London for the Triton event. Son of Richard Young.
That's his son?
It's his son.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
I
his
don't
son.
know the guy either. I don't know either one of them.
Dude, straight badass.
He plays like a badass. Like
yeah.
Look at the puppy.
Oh yeah, that's hi puppies, but my doggies. So yeah, his son Y Young has a first, a second, fourth, all in the month of August for $5.5 million. Now has over $10 million in career earnings. Y Young fucks. This guy's amazing. He's number 7. Yeah, this guy fucks. He's a total legend.
top 100 all time now as well. 87th.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. It's so hard to
87th
get
and
like
what?
top 100.
Top all time money list.
That guy?
Yeah.
King Young?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's moving up the ranks. He's going fast.
Speaking of moving up the ranks, this guy, Aaron Zhang, took home, we mentioned him last week, I believe he was number 2 behind Bree Kenny.
Yep.
Drops down to number 6 this week. This is an automatic ranking. You can't win the largest tournament in the history of the fucking game without being ranked 2 weeks in a row. He gets the automatic nod here. It'd be a crime if he wasn't there. Rumor has it, after he won this event, he's already won $10 million plus in cash on the side games, probably those games you were describing.
He fires. I don't know him well, but I said hello to him when I was in London. Super nice kid.
Did he have a fanny pack on?
They all do.
Probably.
Big time fanny pack guy.
Probably.
Really, really expensive fanny pack. Loves it. And I mean like straight Kathy Liebert style. Even purple. Not kidding.
You know what the funny thing is about these Asian businessmen? Mm-hmm. If any other person would wear what they are wearing, you would think like, oh, they just went to the fucking Salvation Army. But the fucking Louis Vuitton stuff they wear these days looks like it's from the trash can.
That's right.
I was in the 25K tournament, and this guy walks up to the table with a fanny pack and just starts pulling out bricks of money, chips that I've never seen before, plaques. I think you could spend actual plaques there.
That's what they do.
I don't know where the money came from. He just kept pulling it out. He was like supporting everybody at the table. He just kept giving people money. I was like this.
Yeah. Fanny packs are back. I'm probably gonna get one.
Richard Seymour had the biggest one.
That wasn't a fanny pack.
No, that was like an arm band.
Oh, like a satchel?
Satchel.
The Richard Seymour one was like that was a swag pack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like that looked pretty good on him. Had across the chest kind of thing. I'm talking straight fucking Uncle Ron style fanny pack. I mean, we're gonna roll some of this. This is what this fanny pack looks like right here, Remco. Right down here. I mean, it looks ridiculous. You would actually rock a really nice fanny pack.
You think so?
You're the type of guy that would wear one.
If you get me
European, foreigner.
If you get me one, I'll wear it.
That's what you guys do.
Yeah.
Number 5, Stephen Chidwick. Fair to say, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is just always in the top 10. This guy never seems to miss out on the top 10 rankings. Why would he? He's a total machine. Maybe, arguably, the greatest no-limit player on the planet. 4 final tables during the Triton series. Fucking 4 of them, man. And he's always there, including 4th place in the $1 million event. He just prints money. That's all he does, every single stop. Marine, Stevie, if you're watching this, congratulations on your new baby. Please adopt me. I'm available.
A large baby, very large.
I will do whatever you want me to do. I'll mow the lawn, wash the dishes. Just adopt me. Bring me in. Anthony declined the invitation to have me as a son. Stevie, please bring me home. Number 4, your friend, Sean Deeb. Your new friend. I guess you befriended him this summer.
Yeah, we're friendly. Yeah.
You're friendly. Yeah, Sean Deeb. Buries the biscuits. 25K high roller down at Sherpo. We didn't mention Sherpo yet on the show, but they ran a tremendous series. All the talk was on Triton, Rosvedov, Florida crushing it right now with all these tournaments, cash games. I mean, it's I don't know how they got these numbers, considering all the stuff going on across the pond. But holy shit, Sean Deeb won $778,000 in a 25K high roller. Polarizing motherfucker. You either love him, you hate him. Sean Deeb. I personally really like Sean Deeb. I think he's really funny. I get that he said some stuff that's out of line, whatever. Hey, the puppy's here. Your puppy doesn't even bark at us.
Come here, Matt.
What's your dog's name?
Monty.
Monty? Hi, Monty. Hi. Yeah, we got a dog here. Yeah. Who's Monty? You want to be on TV?
Yeah.
Oh. Does he eat at the table where we're podcasting?
It's not in. You can feed him.
So, that's number 4, Sean Deeb. Number 3, another one of Anthony's favorite people, Jason Mercier. Jay Merce is back. He hasn't cashed a tournament in a year.
He probably hasn't played one in a year.
He hasn't cashed exactly. He hasn't cashed a tournament in a year. And what's he do? He wins the 50K high roller for $715,000. Also got 9th place at a final table shortly after that, the one that Sean Deeb won.
And he got 3rd in the main event.
He got 3rd. Yeah, he essentially got 3rd, or no, was
4th,
it 3rd?
4th.
4th place, 5th place, whatever place it was.
Yeah.
Because it's now out there public that he had 75-ish% of Gary Gates in the main event. That's all public knowledge. It's out there. Jason Mercier, fucking back. Speaking of bring money, the guy, he hasn't played a tournament for as long as he's been growing that beard. He's amazing. He's somehow not even inside, by the way, the top 25 all-time earnings. He has just shy of $20 million in earnings. Not even inside the top 25.
It's kind of interesting, too, because Jason has not been playing the super high rollers lately, so that'll make you drop on those rankings really, really quickly.
Of course.
He was, at one point, 11th on the all-time money list.
Yeah.
He's now 26th.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There's so huge tournaments these days. That's
crazy.
What happens. Yeah.
This is a whole nother world. We talked about this last week on the show. It should be in its own sort of classification. It shouldn't be with the rest of the tournaments. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Number 2, Sean Winter. You guys are legitimately friends. You and Sean,
me
right?
and Sean are friends.
Yeah. Sean Winter. I wrote this out in my notes, Remco. I'm tired of hearing Winter is coming because Winter never left. It's just always been Winter. This is Sean Winter's city, Las Vegas. He crushes. Hometown, he was down in Florida. That's where he picked up $698,000 in Sherpo, bringing his 2019 earnings up to $2.2 million. Nobody's talking about that. He's won $2.2 million in all these kind of smaller-ish high rollers. That's incredible stuff. Sean Winter, he's back. Number 2, fan favorite. Everyone loves him on PokerGo.
He's funny. Yeah, he's a funny kid.
And, of course, Bryn Kenny, we already mentioned. He rounds out number 1. Maybe, just maybe, Justin Bieber will fight him.
I mean,
I would probably put up some money for that also.
And you would bet on Bieber, right?
No.
Because Bieber is a beast.
He trains for that.
He trains with Mayweather.
Just like Bryn says, people are just winners. I mean,
and Bryn's a winner, and
he called the shot once, why not again?
And I will mention, too, along the same line, Kevin Hart, Antonio. Everyone bet on Kevin Hart. Trains. He's actually like a legitimate fighter. You actually guilty of that. You told me in the studio, like, Kevin Hart will annihilate Antonio. He could be a professional fighter. What happened? Antonio, winner.
Some guys just have the best of it.
Always. Funny little stat here as you were going through Mercer's results. I'm looking at his hand and mob. How many players do you think in 2019 have cashed for at least $1 million in tournaments? Total players.
2019 have cashed for at least $1 million?
Yeah.
It's going to be probably way too many people.
It's got to be close to 100.
It's 112.
Jesus Christ.
And it's insane because up until a few years ago, if you had $1 million year, you'd be like top 20. And right now, 112 players have already, and we're in August.
Well, there's
cashed for $1
so
million.
many big tournaments these
It's
days.
insane. So Bryn Kenny this year has cashed for $29.8 million. That alone would put him like third all time or fourth all time. It's insane.
Wait, $29 million, what he's cashed for, would be third all time on the money list?
Pretty close.
Jesus Christ, Bryn Kenny.
All-time money list.
He's here to stay.
I'm looking
man.
it up right now.
He will, until he dies, he will always be number one.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think so? Wow.
Until he's dead.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's what wraps the show up, Brent.
That's going to do it.
We've gone through the rankings. For you guys at home, I just want to let you know that the Poker Masters schedule for 2019 is now out. We are excited to see maybe Antonio dabble in a few events at the PokerGo studio. We have the announced schedule. There's a few 10K, some 25Ks, 50K, and 100K to close out the series. Go to pokermasters.com to see the entire schedule.
I want
that
to
is
see him.
out
I want
there.
to see him play more cash games. He's great in the cash
Get him in the
games.
game.
Yeah, you need to come play more.
Tell Phil to let me play.
Phil, which camera am I looking at?
That one.
This one. Phil Hellmuth. Let
It's
Anthony Alberto
It's 25-50,
play.
right?
Let him play. No, they're playing 100, 200. 20K.
All right, I'll play blind for like the first half hour.
You'll
Whatever.
play blind for the first 30 minutes. Phil Hellmuth. Anthony Alberto will play blind for the first half an hour.
I mean,
Let him in.
If
Let the man
that's
in.
not a sales pitch, I don't know what
Like
is.
the first buy-in, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then we'll send it in.
I love it.
I did my best, right? I worked hard at that.
That's a good sales pitch. I mean,
Exactly.
if the guy says no, then
That's on him.
That's his
it's the
loss.
second game this month that I was told.
Can you
I'm not enough
believe
action.
that? Yeah.
How is this happening?
It's insane.
Finish me off, Remco.
We have so much exciting action coming on PokerGo. Paul Pierce, confirmed by Mr. Hellmuth himself, coming to the PokerGo studio to play in that game that Brent just mentioned.
Can you
That-
believe I'm the Paul
I'm
Pierce guy?
texting Paul Pierce and saying don't play unless he lets me play.
No, please don't. Please don't. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, Paul Pierce. We got some legends coming up. I can go through the lineup real quick. So
mean,
everyone that's looking forward to this.
Can you do that? Is that
Is
that
of course.
allowed?
Yeah, of course. So I'll go through it right now. Phil Hellmuth, Alan Keating, Rob Young, Casey Thompson, Jennifer Tilley, Paul Pierce, and just added. This is gonna.
Are you
You
gonna
know
say
what?
this?
I don't think I
Don't
can
say
say
it.
this because I don't think I can say this, but I can tell you that one of the greatest
Athletes.
of all time has tentatively committed to this game. I don't want to say it. I don't want to spoil it, and I don't want to be wrong. Every single week, I think my heart is broken. When
Wait, how
people
am I
just
not
don't
in
make
this
it.
game?
But this one coming up here, you're supposed to be in this
I'm
game.
texting both of them.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me see. They're not in this game.
He's looking at the master
Yellow-
document right now.
yellow means
we're going to
they're not
wrap
in
the
this
show
game.
up. These guys are going to haggle
Hosting
over these cash
again.
games for quite a bit more. You guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. If you are listening to this and you're not watching, please know that the PokerGo Poker Central podcast is on PokerGo every single week. So please make sure to check that out. Additionally, as well, please subscribe to the audio feed if you want to catch it on your way to work or in which way you want. Thanks so much for watching and listening. This was the Poker Central podcast.